There is a quote commonly attributed to Leonardo da Vinci that goes something like, "Art is never finished, only abandoned." This quote is referring to how an artist can always find something to improve upon in their work, and therefore never finishes it until they become so sick of the work that they ultimately abandon working on it. This has been my reality for the past few years. In that time, I took on the task of designing the perfect board game. More specifically, the perfect area control board game. This is the first of many devlogs to finally share with the world what most of my creative energy has been dedicated to for almost a decade. This is Devlog 0 for Aeternum, Roma, and Victa. The theme of the game is set around the ancient Mediterranean Sea from around the birth of the Roman state until the late Republic. Players choose one of 4 cultures to play as: Roman, Celtic, Greek, or Carthaginian. The standard game is asymmetric, but not along faction lines, meaning picking one culture does not inherently give advantages or disadvantages. Rather, it has emergent asymmetry that comes with the map layout, initial card draws, and player choices at the start of the game. My love of this historical period is what influenced my choice of theme. It is rich with adventure, tragedy, and gives a sense of immense possibility that any person seeking to leave a mark on history in this time had a fair chance of achieving it. While much of this period, like a lot of history, is presented in a dry or hard to digest way, it is my aim for this game to offer a vibrant and interactive medium for presenting the time period. The basic mechanics and goal of the game are typical of those in the 4X genre. Players start with one capital city and must capture and hold more than half of the capital cities to win. They do this by expanding their territory by building or capturing other cities, which produces more resources, which makes achieving these goals easier. While this describes many other games, the way this is implemented is what distinguishes them. In Aeternum, there is only one resource that can be produced: gold. Players can spend this gold to recruit armies. There is only one unit type for armies: units. This is where the game differs from many others that have multiple resources to manage and different unit types to purchase that give different advantages. In Aeternum, the strategic focus is on positioning, maneuvering, infrastructure placement, board resource management, diplomacy, unique commanders, and tactical card play to gain an advantage over opponents. The game seeks to offer strategic depth while minimizing tactical micromanagement and a reasonable playtime. There is more to say on the specific mechanics of the current build of the game and how to play. This will be covered in a later video. If you are interested in learning more, join the mailing list linked below for updates on the game's release. The start of this game's development began when I was in high school. My brother and I were bored with nothing to do at home, and so I suggested we make our own board game to entertain ourselves. Armed with trashed pizza boxes, scissors, and whatever else we could use, we got to work. What you're seeing here was the result: a simple grid-style area control game with loads of broken mechanics. The meta for this version was to completely fill the map with cities and deathball a massive army before the other player did. Not the most fun experience, but it did its job for 2 bored teenagers. From here I thought, I bet I can improve this, and I've spent hundreds of hours since modifying mechanics and making prototypes to test. It has been 9 years since I started work on this game, during which I have had to learn new skills to bring my vision to life. There have been times where progress seemed impossible, and that the release of this game was just a pipe dream that would never come to be. That quote attributed to Da Vinci has really hit home during these moments where I feel like the game will never be completed. In those times where it felt like I was wasting my time, I would remember all those games I grew up playing and how much enjoyment they brought. The thought of my game bringing that same enjoyment to thousands of others spurred me on despite the challenges the development has provided. The game is currently in development for its 5th prototype version. I'm excited to share the game's current look, including the box art, game pieces, and cards, which you can see a sample of here. It is my hope to eventually crowdfund a professional artist, but if that never comes to be, then the prototype art will have to be enough for the game's release. After years of rethinking mechanics and testing prototypes, the game has finally solidified around its core mechanics, with major changes being highly unlikely. The remaining work left is to balance many of the cards and abilities and to supply a few more to flesh out a few playstyles further. If you are excited to join me on this journey, hit subscribe and join the mailing list for updates on Aeternum, Roma, and Victa. If you have any thoughts or feedback, please leave a comment. Feedback has always been great motivation for continuing the work. Thank you for watching.